By the way, to rewind it a little bit, because obviously on this show we can go wherever we want. That's actually the secret of this show. I wanted to ask you specifically, though, right? I saw the Power Spike episode. I obviously referenced it in my video. And I think you were way too kind to Doublelift. Because here's the problem, Monte. There's just... listen, I think I'm pretty good at telling when someone's lying, right? This is Doublelift being stupid. Him being stupid is when he'll do stuff like his chat will tell him, like, and this other team did it. And he'll go, I think that other team did it. And then when someone goes, no, they didn't. He goes, but, well, the chat said it. And like, that's being stupid. That's not even looking at it. That's ignorance, right? Ignorance and stupidity go hand in hand. Doublelift, I have to say, Monte, I think he actually, in the same way as you think BDS got the leaks, I think he must be lying. Here's why. There's no way someone like, he's not an idiot in terms of actual intelligence, guys. He's more stupid because he just speaks and doesn't think. There's no way he actually said that a lane swap is where you swap your 2v2, so you don't have to do the 2v2 laning. And then in the next sentence explained that the strat that him and BDS did was to have a Scion invade and dive bot and then go normal laning. There's no way one human said those two sentences, not very far apart, and didn't ever think, I've just said a totally different thing there. That's, to me, Monte, this. He said the correct thing first because he was explaining what a lane swap is so that he could explain what you were talking about. Then he didn't have a fucking example except Nip FVX because the only other one apparently is like Team Liquid from 2019. But he was trying to pretend in the last year everyone did it. So his brain went, fuck, I hate Monte and he can't be right. So quickly put in something where it looks like a lane swap before it happens and it has Scion. And then he just picked a load of examples of Scion. And not a single one was a lane swap. I just refuse to believe he doesn't know what a lane swap is. He has to know what a lane swap is.
So they're actually I went back and I watched. There actually is a lane swap that happened in the C9 versus Team Liquid finals during the pandemic, the one with perks.
2021? Okay.
Yeah, in 2021. There actually is a lane swap in that final.
Wait, he couldn't reference it, even though A, 3 years ago, and 2, totally irrelevant to whether everyone sees them right now and does them, isn't it? You know what I mean? Like, I love the way everyone kept saying, no, but it doesn't matter how many times Doublelift is wrong. The only thing that matters is that Monte produces hard proof of a speculation on Twitter. No, that's called cognitive dissonance, guys. You're not going to let the facts in your brain because they destroy who you think Doublelift is. So, like, that is a mental example, too, because you notice that's also 2021. Team Liquid one was fucking 2019. Spoiler, there hasn't been one recently. That's why it was only Nip FPX. That's the only example you can give. And by the way, Nip FPX, wasn't that like not even with the Sire? Wasn't that like Udyr or something?
It was Udyr, yeah.
Yeah, so the whole thing, but you see the side, shut the fuck. Listen, I don't care who you are for that one. I don't care if you're cage roll. I don't care. Even if you're Dom, if you think seeing a Scion means it's a lane swap, shut your fucking mouth. No one did before that because that was the first one.
The odds are it's some kind of shenanigans, right? But the point
that... Invade. Obviously, you could have been covering the invade. But that's why your point in the video was very apt. They didn't just cover the invade. They gambled that it was exactly what it was. And it was that. And they even lost the game afterwards because they BDS.
Which is funny.
That's just fucking karmic justice, isn't it?
The funny thing is, like, if you're trying to make some sort of argument that the BDS Scion strategy that Doublelift referenced, you know, like a Scion dive, I mean, basically, they didn't even try and counteract that because they warded bot side jungle, but G2 knew the wards were there, so they could have actually four-manned through the bot lane through Tribrush, and they would have just set themselves up. And then BDS would have initiated the lane swap because their bot lane would have then gone top. They would have gotten the lane swap. They would have basically given G2 the best scenario, and the jungle scenario, it would have just been a jungle invade with the Scion. And if they went bot, there would have been a 4-man dive under the bot turret. Yep. So like, basically that's why I struggle with the fact that they had allegedly no prior knowledge, because 5 stacking on red could have just given up the lane swap to G2. And like, you don't know if they're going to invade. And also like your junglers in fucking river, not even starting a camp when the camp spawns. So he's going to be behind. I mean, the whole thing is just really fucking weird. And like I said earlier, you either have to believe that BDS is dumb enough to do this. You know, that's what nobody talked about. My interpretation, Thorin, is actually generous to the intelligence of BDS, because if I am forced to believe that they did not know this was the case, then I have to call them bad. You have to. Like, just because it worked out for them doesn't mean it was a good call.
Monte, I'll tell you what, your birthday is a while from now. It's on the 19th of October. So I'll tell you what, I will make a pledge to you right now. Either on your birthday or before, I will reveal publicly what actually happened in that scenario. I will find out for you, and I will find out if it was in fact a leak. Just that's all I'm going to say.
Impressive.
I will find out. Just wait and see. I will do that for you, just as a gift for you. Just because on this particular one, I think it's interesting, you know.
If I am vindicated, and like, look, guys, if you find out the opposite, Thorin, you know, go ahead, tell the truth. Yeah, no worries. I'll just take the L on that one.
By the way, I even said in my video, I think where you messed up is this. I wouldn't have put the clear as day part because when you make a speculation,
I worded it badly.
You want to leave a little bit of room for ambiguity. I know what you mean. What you meant is like essentially what you did is what you would say in a green room. You'd go like, "What the fuck? Look at this setup. They obviously know it's coming." You did that, but the only reason I bring that up as well, Monte, I don't blame you for this, is I always say I never say anyone cheated in Counter-Strike. Like you have to say I think they cheated if you're a journalist because you have to have proof otherwise. That's just a very difficult set of protocols to put in place. Like normal people don't speak that way. It's just that when you're like a big figure, you just have to figure out this sort of, you have to fucking like do like a devil's advocate against yourself before you hit send tweet afterward is the problem. So that's not the end of the world. But I knew you said I think. I noticed everyone deleted I think and just put like, it's only, in fact, the maddest thing of all, let's address this one last thing, goes like this. The stupidest response was the notion BDS were the cheaters. No, they were just given the spoiler to the movie. You can't unknow the spoiler. And two, it was the idea, causing you all out there don't know the pro scene and you only listen to dickhead streamers. You think that a leak means they saw a video of the game. You don't know that a leak could literally be random G2 player, not even G2, no, sorry, someone like on Vitality just DMs someone like Labrov. By the way, if they get like a Scion, watch out for a swap. Like that could be it. That could be all it was. That's all you need. You only need one player.
It couldn't even been watch out. It could have just been like, lol, we just finished this scrim block and it was hard because G2 was lane swapping. Like it could be something as innocuous as that, you know? So.
Just something in the back of your mind, so when you see the drag, you think about it at least. Yeah, exactly. But people made it sound like what you actually said was, fuck BDS, they cheated, and I demand something be done about it. That's what everyone made out like you said.
And and by the way, a BDS player like reading a Discord message or having small talk with another player who drops that is not BDS's fault. It happens all the time.
It happens all the
in
time.
Every esport. And also, it's not BDS's fault. It's not like they asked. It's not like they did anything. It's not cheating by BDS. Like there's nothing they can do about that scenario. So, I mean, it would be different.
You know this, Monte. Anyone who's been in a team knows leaks happened all the time. It's the reason why I've always said the poaching rules are objectively insane, because it's like the idea that, like, you know how like rich people sort of scam their taxes a bit. It's just about don't get audited and then have like a very clever lawyer. Everyone's doing it. The point is just don't get caught. That's what the rules say. Everyone's poaching all the time. The point is you can't stop these fuckers texting messages to each other. Even if you had them on lockdown, they're going to go home and go on their phone. Like, you can't stop the info leaking out. It's why, by the way, Roster will always leak. Any AUG that still goes, we'd like to announce it first. We'll live in another world, DAFCON. Like, that's not the world you live in now. That ship sailed years and years ago. So the idea, like, fans are like, oh my God, you're implying they would get a leak. Mate, some of your favourite players have gotten leaks. I mean, I've said it before. Some of your favourite players are match-fixed, motherfucker. Sit down. Sit down if you don't know what you're talking about in this industry. And by the way, then when people come out, no, Thorin, to make that statement, you have to show me hard proof on Twitter that would get you killed by the triads. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and say, nah, I don't actually. And I don't have a court compelling me to say that. So I can just say, in those cases, I know what happened. But on some of them, I think it happened. So there we go. It's all good. See more cool, funny, interesting clips based on topics from my content? Well, subscribe to this channel then, or, you know, be a pleb and don't.